The year is 2023, and I've been living in a cave for 7 years now. Not the traditional kind of dark, rocky walled cave that most people conceive, with water seeping down the walls, creating moss and cockroaches crawling all over the place. But a cave of my own construction. I built a cave. I closed off the outside world. I allowed no physical human contact, and I built an electronic existence based upon the technology. Oh, the technology. Step back in time. The year is 1989. My stepfather offers to share his business with me if I can clean it up and make it a little more successful. So I got nothing to do. I just got done recovering from cancer after a couple years of being unable to walk. And so I say, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I haven't finished my degree in physics, so I can't really get another job right now. Don't have any money, so let's try that. So I go into business with him. Basically, I move into his house, and he buys all the groceries, and I just answer the phone and set up the meetings and the transports. And so it was a car movement. You take cars and you put them on a truck. And the truck drives all over America. Takes cars from A to B to C to Z. And you charge for that, and surprisingly, quite a bit of money in it. You got a driver, and he doesn't get paid for sleeping. He gets paid for driving. And so we had some trucks, and I would sit at the phone and answer the phone, and I'd call people up, solicit a little business down there. But and then I'd have to get on a plane once in a while and fly around and go to auctions, auto auctions. That's where you get your new customers. You go to the auto auction, you set up a little table, and you say, hey, we can move your cars. Bring those cars over here. We got trucks too. But that's all kind of getting off to the side of the main course here. We don't need no appetizers, really. The main course here is technology. And what it has done to us. 1989. I'm driving from San Diego up to LA in my beautiful 1988 Honda. Beautiful car. Sunroof. And some other stories about that sunroof. A friend of mine and I tripped through Baja California. We're both, not just one of us, both of us, hanging out the top of that sunroof with margaritas in our hand. We had a little blender that worked off the cigarette lighter, and we'd blend up margaritas. Then we'd both stand up top and driving along the highways, the back highways. And anyway, I was good memories. So I was driving from San Diego up to LA to help out a driver who got stuck. Something got fucked up on one of the trucks, and he couldn't move one of the Cadillacs. We did all the best cars. We did Porsches and Cadillacs, and We never got any of the really high-end stuff, but we did most of the good stuff, moving it around. And he got stuck. So, I was the guy in the office, the only guy in the office. This is a two-man operation. We had a secretary. But, yeah, that's a whole nother story, too. And the baby, I don't believe she actually got pregnant. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I'm driving up there, so the phone rings. Now, this is 1989. How many people had a car phone in their 1988 Honda Accord? Well, I did. And it changed my life. I mean, prior to that, I had been on beeper status. You'd say anytime that beeper goes off, get to a phone now and see what's wrong with one of the trucks and get the mechanics or the tire changers or whatever it is, the gas people, well, whatever. So beeper status was horrible because those drivers would beat me at the slightest thing. I'd get a beep. They burnt the chicken at that truck stop. I don't like this chicken. Can you call somebody? No. You have to consider, you have to put all this in context. I mean, I'd get another beep that would say, truck on fire going down the grapevine. But you didn't get the message because beepers only showed you the number that called. So you had to call them. You had to literally call them to find out what was going on. And sometimes you'd get, they make bad mashed potatoes here. Can you complain? And other times you'd get, truck on fire. Several fire engines chasing it down the grapevine. And they're just hoping it won't kill too many people. So this is my introduction to the business world. I've been a student up until that point in life, and there's a whole story there too. But this all comes back around. So that was my introduction to being dependent upon technology. First, it was the beeper, and the beeper left you hanging. You had no idea until you did a little research by punching some numbers into a payphone when they used to have payphones. Some of you people don't even know what those are. And then it got to the, one of the first hand phones or cell phones. I don't know what they called them back then. Late 80s. I guess they probably had them before then, but that's the first time I had one. And it was, the phone itself, they made, kind of normal size, and it actually looked like a phone, like in your house, the phone part of it that you put up to your ear and your mouth. But the box was about the size of a suitcase. So, that was my first dalliance into losing self-control. Now look at us. Started off with AOL. Well, AOL will connect you to the world. It will widen your horizons for only $7.95 a month. And of course, we all did it, and we all heard the as you dial up. It was dial-up service. You had to listen to the whatever that ugly sound is, and they played it for you. I guess that's probably better than not playing it for you, because you would have wondered, is anything happening? Is it really connecting? Is this possible? Can I be connecting to the world so I can become a more informed person and live a more informed life? Well, so they played, and sure enough, you got connected. And I forget what the voice was. It was something ridiculous, and they had celebrities. You've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail. And I think it said that even if you didn't have mail. But that was most of our first experiences. Those of us of my age or 10 years younger, whatever. I guess I was 30s then, whatever. Right about that. And so we had mail. We got on and we did the original chat rooms, and you got a kick out of it. It was like the old party line phones for those of us who grew up in the 60s and 70s. They used to have phones, home phones, landlines. And you didn't get your own phone if you lived somewhere where people couldn't afford their own phones. So they had what were called party lines. So you could get on and listen to somebody else's conversation, several other conversations, as a matter of fact. And then you had to talk and have a conversation. So, it was, I don't know, I guess I think people were guarded about what they said on the phone, but some people weren't guarded. I heard some pretty juicy stuff. So anyway, the AOL experience where all of a sudden you can watch other people having conversations online. You can listen to it. You can see what they're saying. You can hear what they're saying. And then you can say what you want to say. That was the beginning. They got us hooked. The technological drug of choice. We all bought in. And then come the computer revolution. Everybody's got to have a computer because you got to be connected. You got to be watching what other people are saying. You got to be listening to other people's conversations and share all the amazing thoughts that you have on a daily basis. So we did. And, email. When there was AOL mail. Some people still have an AOL email address. But anyway, free email came along and, nobody questioned it. It's free. Oh, that's for me. I like free. So we all signed in and signed on. And so now look at us. We're dependent on these cell phones. We're dependent on Google for the most part. And that's the reason for this message tonight. my Google chat, which is free, and I used to talk to friends around the world, either just by text message or you can actually just call them up for free. You can do free video calls on it too. So I'm not here to advertise that. I'm just saying. And this is the point I'm making. So now, everything I do is electronic. I don't even get any mail anymore. The mailman knows not to put any of those advertisements in my mailbox because nothing else of any worth or any importance ever comes to my mailbox. It's all online, via Google or whatever. So the mailman, I don't get any mail. Seinfeld did an episode on that where Kramer goes into the post office and Newman's there. Kramer says, I want to stop my mail. And there's some woman at the counter, and she's, well, how long would you like to stop it for? And then Newman comes running around the corner. He sees Kramer there, and he comes and pushes the woman out of the way and says, "Hey, go take your 3-hour break." And he tries to shush Kramer. And Kramer goes into all the ways that we don't need mail anymore. Well, we got email, electronic billing, automatic payment systems, so on and so forth. Shh. Newman's trying to shush him. Newman's supervisor comes up behind him. Is our employee bothering you, Mr. Kramer? Our employee, is postal employee Newman bothering you, Mr. Kramer? Oh, no. No. I just want to cancel my mail. All the mail. So that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I don't get any mail anymore unless it's a handwritten letter by someone who's still alive in my family that sends me. So we're all ultimately dependent on the electronic machine. And imagine that. Everything you do, your cell phone, and your email, and whatever electronic communications there are, can be shut off now. What you gonna do? I mean, even if you have a AAA card and you're out on the road and you break down and cell phone doesn't work, the North Star system doesn't work in your car, nothing's working. And people are driving by at high speeds and looking at you like, why are you stopped on the side of the road? Oh, and then you get that one that pulls over that looks creepy. And then you're shaking your phone in the air, you're raising it higher up, you climb on the top of your car and hold it up, and there's still no signal. What are you going to do now? You're going to take your AAA card out and start yelling the member number and, oh, please help me, to number 6204576, the expiration date, I've been a member for 4 years. No. And here's the bottom line. There are people out there smart enough, and there are people out there with their hands on the levers of technology. There are bad men out there just waiting to, grasp all the levers and pull them all at once and turn it all off and see what happens. Carnivores. For all this veganism, vegetarianism, this anti-keto stuff. You know what? When the bad men pull the levers and turn off all the technology that we're so dependent on now, oh yeah, cannibals. Look at the cannibals, and everybody's going to be running around saying, hey, you got some Baby Ray's? This doesn't taste quite right. I want to put a little Baby Ray's on it. That's simple. And it's not hard to understand. When the power goes out one night, I used to think when the power would go out for a while, it's like, okay, it's kind of an inconvenience, but then you have to go outside. When you go outside, you meet your neighbors. And, you strike up a conversation and you're thinking, wow, I should have met the neighbors earlier. But I'm telling you, that's really an opportunity to size up the calorie content of the neighborhood. I mean, some of those neighbors are skinny and frail, if it comes down to it, and we do have a major collapse in the technological system, you're not going to want to waste any energy, any time. Go into the houses where the frail, skinny neighbors with no fat or protein on their bodies are. You want to go right to the heart of the big, plump, juicy neighbors. Yeah. Keep some propane on hand, okay? And that's, well, people tell me I'm a little dark-hearted, but I think it's coming. And I think, if you can go, if you have a gun, rifle or something, go shoot out the transformer on the phone pole in your neighborhood. And then, once all the power goes out, you can get to know a lot of the neighbors and start making a map of where you're going to go when things really do break down. You got to be strategic, tactical, and strategic. Tactical will only get you so far. Then someone who's strategic is going to overcome you, and you will be on the dinner plate.